I'm Rita, and I want to talk to you today in this series of videos about awakening and embodiment, and how if you're called to awaken and embody, then it's possible for you in this lifetime. And in this series of videos, I want to offer 3 gems of truth that are designed to support that embodiment. So in this particular video, I want to talk about 3 steps, simple steps, to help you access divine wisdom in any situation of your life. This topic is really important to me because what I've found is that one of the things that inhibits people's awakening and embodiment is, and anybody susceptible to this, it's habit and conditioning. And what happens is, especially when we get triggered, habit and conditioning can work like this heavy dampening field, and it's also like being in a tunnel. All we can see and all we can do is what our habit and conditioning dictates that we do. And we can't see the other options and opportunities. We get kind of disconnected from our potential, from our wisdom, from our compassion. As a shaman, you may know that I listen to and talk to a group of spirit guides who are awakened teachers from throughout time. And one of the things they reflect to me consistently is that it's a kind of tragedy that we as human beings aren't realizing our full potential. One of the reasons we don't is because we don't see the options and the opportunities right in front of us. So I wanted to give you this simple tactic that I use all the time to help you to access that potential and see the options and opportunities. It's a 3-step process. Step 1, take 1 step back. It's really simple. Take 1 step back. Now, I'll put in a little plug for meditation. You know, this is why our meditation practice is so helpful, because it helps us to practice having distance and taking a step back from our lives. Step 2 is to just acknowledge that there are options and opportunities. Even if you can't see them yet, just acknowledge that they're there. And step 3, get curious. Begin to inquire about the options and opportunities that might be in front of you. So I'm going to give you 2 scenarios or 2 examples of how to apply this. Let's start with emotions, because difficult emotions inevitably is something that my clients ask me about a lot. And the emotion could be anything. It could be grief, it could be anxiety, anger, stress, depression, and use depression as the example here. So as with anything, there's usually 2 things. There's the emotion itself, in this case depression, and then there's our reaction to it. And the reaction can look something like, oh no, I'm depressed again. What's the matter with me? Am I forsaken? This is awful. I'm stuck. I'm doomed. All of these reactions. That's the conditioned pathway. There's another pathway. You take 1 step back. Acknowledge that there's other options and opportunities for meeting the depression, and then you get curious about what those options and opportunities are. So I'm going to give you some sample inquiries for both options and opportunities. Now, options are new paths of action, right? They're new ways of meeting something that we might not have seen before. And when we inquire around our options, it takes us immediately out of our habits, out of conditioning, and it enables us to act more in alignment from our divine wisdom and truth, right? So here's some examples of inquiries around depression that I might ask. I might say, how does my wisdom want to meet my depression in a new way? How can I support my body in a way I never have before? How can I have more compassion for myself as I'm depressed? What kind of support can I call into my life to help me with my depression? Now let's talk about opportunities. Opportunities, when you inquire around opportunities, it takes your healing and your transformation to a new level, right? You're activating your potential of transformation. So opportunities can help you clear old ego habits. It can help you heal wounds, liberate wounds. And above all else, of course, it helps you to live as awakened wisdom and love. So here are some possible inquiries. I might say, what is this depression teaching me? How is this showing me? What is my body showing me? What's underneath the depression that I might not be seeing yet? How is this depression a teaching for my spiritual evolution? What are shadow benefits to this depression? How is this depression calling me to interact with the world around me in a different way? You can get really creative with these inquiries, right? So here's another scenario, different set of examples. So let's talk about conflict with a loved one. So as the same as I was saying before, there's two things. There's the conflict itself, and then there's our reaction to it. And the reaction could look something like, damn this person, why are they doing this again? Why am I doing this again? I can't believe we're back here. Why am I so frustrated? I wish this were different, etc., etc. Again, that's the conditioned pathway. Here's a new pathway. Take one step back from the conflict. Acknowledge that there's options and opportunities, and then get curious. Sample questions for options could include, how can I listen to my loved one in a different way? How can I meet them in a different way? What does my wisdom know is aligned and true to say in this situation? Now here are some examples of opportunity inquiries. What is my loved one mirroring back to me? What are they showing me? Where am I stuck in myself? How can I bring this whole situation into a higher realm of love? How can I use it as a teaching? How are we both using this argument to further our spiritual evolution? Or how can we use this to further our spiritual evolution? So as you work with these inquiries and opportunities, again, you're going to want to get creative and very honest with them. And I want to acknowledge too that when you are using these inquiries, that sometimes this three-step process can take less than a minute. It can take a very little amount of time to do. And at other times, acknowledging the options and opportunities could take a longer period of time. You might need to step out of the situation altogether, take a walk in the woods, do some meditation, do some journaling, whatever you need. But whatever the case, my sense is that, and my experience with this, is that the more you access options and opportunities, you're going to see some amazing shifts in your life and in your awakening journey. The key to take away here is that you have awakened potential that's just begging to come forth to be seen. I see in my clients that almost every single one of them has this really incredible awakened wisdom and compassion that's dying to come forth, to be revealed and to emerge. You know, it's not dormant, it's very active and it's very alive. And when you create this space to see these options and opportunities, you're also creating this space for divine consciousness to come in and really transform you and transform your life. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been affirming and supportive for you. And if you know anyone else for whom this could benefit, please pass it along. Now in these videos, I've explored these little gems of truth. But if you're called to get deeper in your exploration of embodiment and you want to explore bigger, more intricate truths and practices, then I invite you to click on the link below. Come play with me. I look forward to being with you. Thank you again for watching, and blessings for your journey.